Hello, my name is Aaron, and welcome to Board Games, Bricks, and Hobbies. This week we're taking a look at another game on the shelf, and that game is Bang! So, let's have a quick peek at the components, and then we'll have a look at what I like. So, if you're not familiar with this series, I take a quick look at one of the games in my collection, talk about why I have it, what some things I like about it are, and if there's anything I dislike, and also if I think the game's going to stick around. So, this is Bang. It's a card game. It's actually one of the first designer games that I played. I remember playing it at a game night. Someone brought it, and I was just amazed that something other than like Uno existed as a card game. So for me, there's quite a bit of nostalgia going for this game. So it kind of is a question of whether or not I actually like this game and enjoy it, or is it mostly just hanging on because of nostalgia? Well, we'll get to that. To start with, what are some things I like about this game? Well, I think I just love the zany, chaotic nonsense of it. This is a kind of hidden role game where some people are sheriffs, some people are outlaws, and the outlaws are trying to kill the sheriff, and the deputies are trying to protect the sheriff, and there's also a renegade that just wants to get rid of everyone. And so some people compare this to like a hidden role game like Mafia or Resistance, but in my mind, this isn't a hidden role game. This is a card management game. You are just trying to manage your hand to maximize the opportunities for you to defeat people. So in that aspect, I think it's relatively successful. And I just love the chaotic nonsense of you play a card and someone else plays a card, and you're stocking up with your barrels and your Mustangs and your binoculars and a really long range firearm, and you're just ready to go. But then you just can never draw a Bang card, so you can't do anything. And I do enjoy that aspect of the game. And one other thing that I like about it is that in this version, so this is the bullet, which means it comes with 2 expansions, actually 3 expansions, and that gives you additional cards, which I think really flesh out the game. I don't think the base game itself is really that worth it, but if you add in those expansions, I think there's enough content to keep it going. There are also additional expansions, but I don't think those really add a lot. They just kind of make things more complex for no reason. But what's in here is good, especially the event cards. And I can't stress that enough. So there's 2 decks of event cards in this game. And essentially what they mean is each turn you flip one over and something happens to all players. And the reason that these are important is because they destroy one of the major cons that many people, and myself at times, have with the game, which is the time limit. This game can take way too long for what it is. But these event cards, they have an end. There's only 15 of them. Yes, there's 15 cards in each one, and once you draw that 15th card, it stays in play, and that 15th card, either High Noon or Fistful of Cards, basically makes the game end quickly because it hurts everybody, and it happens every turn because that card is permanently face up for the remainder of the game. So if you have Bang, especially Bang the Bullet, I highly recommend using the event cards because it'll make sure that the game does not overstay its welcome. So with that, let's go ahead and get into anything I dislike about the game. So, what do I dislike about this game? Well, I kind of touched on it briefly in the like segment, but it's just the game length. Not sure what it says. So it says 20 to 40 minutes on the box. I have had 8, and it goes up to quite a few players. It goes up 3 to 8 players. I have had 7, 8 player games that go on for almost an hour and a half, and that is far too long. Again, in those instances, we were not using the event cards, which is why I cannot stress enough. Use the event cards. They're not necessarily like a 2.0 or like a patch for the game, but I do think that they were included to speed things up and to keep things interesting. So you can kind of get around that time limit by using those event cards. It just ensures that the game keeps clipping along because as it stands, the game can overstay its welcome, and it's far too simple to be an hour and 20-minute game. Another thing that I don't like about this game is having to teach it, and I think this is just kind of par for the course for games with symbols. There's a lot of icons in this game, so if you're familiar with something like Seven Wonders or City of Horror, those games have a lot of icons. The cards don't have a lot of text, but just they're very icon heavy, and that is something that, in my experience, seems difficult for people who don't play board games all the time to grasp their head around, which makes it just harder to teach, which makes the game take longer. And so I definitely prefer playing with people who know how to play, because then you just draw your cards, you play your cards, you're done. It's quick. That's how it should be. But when someone stops and has to ask you what a card does every other turn, it just really bogs it down. So that's kind of makes it hard for me to bring out because it is more or less a party game. It goes up to 8 players. So I want to bring it out when there's a big group of people. Of course, right now we're not having huge groups of people over. But in its heyday, it's kind of a more complex party game. It's not just like apples to apples. It's something that's more of a game that a lot of people can play. So I guess I could have put that in the pros segment, just that it goes up to 8 players and it provides a not necessarily complex, but a heavier game than just like something like Phase 10. Why did I say Phase 10? That game is not very good. Anyway, with that, let's go ahead and move on to my final thoughts. Alright, so is Bang a silver bullet, or is it just a dud fueled by nostalgia? Well, I'm torn on this one. It's definitely sticking around for me. I'm definitely going to keep it around. I'm pretty attached to it. Not a fan of this box. It's showy and it draws people's attention, but it's a pain in the neck to store, which is why it's usually just chilling on top. But I'm going to hang on to it, and I don't think it's just because of nostalgia. I do think there's a good game there. Again, it's not a good hit and roll game. It's usually pretty obvious about 3 turns in who is who. So it's not a hit and roll game, or at least not a very good one by any means. But I do enjoy the card play and just being able to play cards and chain cards together, just to use all the cards in your hand to the fullest extent possible, and I do enjoy that. In order to keep it kind of down as far as gameplay time is concerned, I definitely recommend those event cards. But if you've looked at all of that and it doesn't sound quite intriguing, then it's probably a pass for you. But if that does sound good, then maybe you'll want to look into it. Again, for me, I'm definitely going to hang on to it, and not just because of nostalgia. So that's Bang the Bullet, and thank you for watching the video. I hope to see you again in another one. Take care. Bye.